now will be applied to commercial customers when they have it before. So there are some accounts that aren't timely in their payments, and so this may affect them. And you may hear about it. So just a heads up if you hear from any commercial accounts. I don't, we're not starting the late fees and penalties on January 1st. Brian's going to be lenient and allow for one cycle to go through. So it'll start on February 1st after that, because we bill them every month. So we'll allow the first cycle to go through, read the meter, and then bill them in February.
And everybody's already been sent a notice of the updates to the water policy anyways, correct?
And with commercial accounts, we've actually gone one step further and made phone calls.
Oh, okay.
So there's absolutely no reason that people shouldn't know about this. As usual, customer service goes above and beyond, so shouldn't be a surprise. Let's see what else. I left a couple of bid packages over there just because you guys don't usually get to see that end of our work product. But there is one of those projects is up for bid right now, the West Mount Vernon pipeline replacement. There's a pre-bid meeting this Thursday, and then next Wednesday we open bids. So again, we're hoping for a lot of bids and a good price, just like we had for the last one. And then I can't remember if Kevin mentioned this at the last meeting, but we accepted delivery of the new vac truck recently, the Voucher truck. You probably saw it in the vouchers. It's over $600,000. So there's training going on for staff this week, I believe, on the operation. That's included as part of the whole package. So that's a big deal. We got it this year when I know there's a lot of other agencies that haven't got deliveries of their trucks. And Mike was smart about getting our order in early because the prices were going to go up if we took delivery next year. So we saved, I think, at least $20,000 on that. I think probably more, even more, you see. So good timing on that. Yeah, that's all I got.
Great.
Unless there's any questions.
So with that, we'll move on to item 6, which is resolution 2302-23, approving a floating holiday for employees who are members of the district safety committee. And George, are you going to go ahead and present?
Yeah, it's a change to the resolution that was presented at the last meeting. And Vic, if you want to go to the next page, it shows the red line. Show the red line one, yeah. So, with a resolution and with a lot of policies that we have, I depending on the situation, I try not to put a whole bunch of detail in it, because then that usually leads you down a rabbit trail where it's hard to follow that level of detail. So we added a phrase in there about actively participating according to our safety practice and procedure, which outlines some expectations. So I'm hoping that's sufficient to be able to move this forward and offer some incentive for staff to become a part of the safety committee.
Yeah, I just want to thank Jay and you for both providing me with more information on just how the safety committee operates and just just general question. It's very helpful.
Yep.
Entertain a motion, yes.
Well, I move that we approve resolution 2302-23, approving a floating holiday for employees who are members of the district safety committee.
And a second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that is adopted. And with that, we'll move into new business. Agenda item 7, and that is a recommendation to award the pipeline relocation at the Alger Interchange planning, design, and construction services. Mark, looks like you're gonna jump up.
Thank you. If this contract looks familiar, it's because it is. When the fish passage projects came down, we jumped right into it, and we were getting funding at the same time. And we got a little hasty with our consultant selection process. We didn't quite meet the advertising requirements that we learned of after we had already had our consultant. So the short of it is that we truncated the work under the original contract. We excluded the alternative analysis from the grant reimbursement part of this. And we re-advertised the project, and fortunately Wilson was still with us and willing to participate and vie for this contract. And we would like to keep them going on their path. So overall, we have our initial project estimate was 2.5 million. We've got 2 million through one grant, which leaves us with a balance of 500,000. There's another 250,000, I think, through a state grant. And then, so we have about 250 of our own money, PUD matching funds that need to be put into this. And then, so on top of that, we have the 130,000 for the alternative analysis, which brings us to about 230, 280, 380. And then we have like another 9,000, 10,000 for land acquisition. That is also not reimbursable. So we're looking at about $400,000 of PUD money to get the $2 million in grant, 2 million, 2.25 million in grant money.
Any questions, Mark?
So all the work that was already completed, that was just gonna go towards our section of what we have to put up as matching for the grant. So that contract that we already put through and the work that's already been completed for that project, that's just gonna be a part of our matching funds, correct?
We would have liked to have done that.
Oh, okay.
And I actually put that in the memo initially. There's because we didn't procure that contract according to the federal according to the guidelines of this program, there's like there's a nexus.
Okay.
And so if we don't do that according to the guidelines, then we can't use it as reimbursement either.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's a bummer.
Hey, any further questions?
Me.
I'm gonna entertain a motion to award to Wilson Consulting.
I motion, we award pipeline relocation at Alger Interchange, planning, design and construction services to Wilson Construction.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next up is 2024 updates to the resolution establishing positions and salary ranges for non-union staff and supervising employees. Kathy.
Evening. So this is something that we do every year. We basically submit the salary ranges, which are essentially just the ranges from last year, changed by the COLA, which this year is 6.8, as you know. CPIU figures that continue to fluctuate in the past 3 years have skewed the figures quite a bit. So they're all reflecting a 6.8% increase. And as we have done every year, whenever we have a position change, whenever we have any kind of opening or just a change to any kind of position reclassification, we look at current and future needs. We try to anticipate future needs instead of just filling a position. So we have had a few changes that have occurred over the past year. So those are reflected in this as well. So the AP accounting technician was reclassified to the AP accountant. The senior accountant was reclassified to the GL accountant. Operations project coordinator was reclassified to the operations project manager. And then after, as we talked about earlier, after more than a year of being vacant, the GIS tech position was reclassified to be an asset analyst GIS. And then finally, the environmental compliance coordinator position was reclassified to be a project manager, environmental compliance. And actually our new project manager is in the audience today, so Wendy. Congratulations to Wendy. We're very excited for this opportunity for her. She's been taking on some project management and doing incredibly well. So we're all very excited for this opportunity for her. So yeah, all budgetary impacts have been included in the 2024 budget, so there aren't any other changes. If there are, of course, we'll let you know about those. So unless there are any questions.
I entertain a motion to adopt the new. This is a resolution.
That's a resolution.
Resolution 2303-23 to establish the 2024 salary schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Thank you.
Opposed?
There's two of them. Got to say the room.
All right, so with that, we'll move on to informational items that are in your packet tonight. Any commissioner comments this evening? All right, so at this time, we will convene an executive session for RCW 42.30.110 to discuss potential litigation. The executive session is expected to last 15 minutes with no action after.
Reconvene about
We'll
5:10.
reconvene at 5:05, 5:10,
Say 5:10.
5:10 PM.